Welcome to Success Superstars, your place for inspiration and the blueprint of success for peak performers just like you. And my special guest today, Guy Arnold. Guy, welcome.
Welcome, Mark. Thanks for having me.
Thanks for being here. Well, so you've had this amazing real estate journey.
It's been a journey, that's for sure.
Now, what did you do before real estate?
I spent 16 years in the corporate world. I was what they call production planner, kind of the middle guy between engineering and manufacturing. I worked actually in a shipyard up in Wisconsin for 13 years of that. Then got recruited down here to the Dallas area. And about 3 years after I got recruited down here, the company got bought by a bigger company. They didn't want the manufacturing side, and they said goodbye. And I was looking for a new career path at that time, and found my way to real estate.
So you weren't going back to Wisconsin?
No, I will never go back and have to shovel snow more than once a year.
Now the big question, though, is are you still a Packer fan or a Cowboys fan?
Pretty divided now. Pretty divided.
Oh,
honestly.
it's a house divided.
Yeah.
All right.
I don't have a clear-cut winner right now.
Yeah. My brother Craig was a raving Packers fan. And
I was during the Brett Favre era, for sure. I mean, I lived right next to Wisconsin, the whole Brett Favre era, but Aaron Rodgers isn't quite as likable to me.
Yeah. Well, I went up there to visit him for some game. The entire state, I think, closed.
Yeah.
It was just closed.
Oh, yeah. When there's a Packer game, especially getting near playoffs, I mean, that town just stopped dead.
Yeah. Well, the whole state, it seemed like it was.
Yeah.
Well, so like many of us, we were in corporate America. You were system, structure, process.
Yeah.
Did many of those skills translate into running your own real estate practice?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I think just having that same, I don't want to say office worker mentality, or but just having normal hours too to start your day, to get your day started. That, you know, when we get into real estate, you don't have a boss looking over your shoulder,
Right.
you know, telling you what you have to do daily. But some of the best advice I got when I very first started, the broker I was with at the time said, you know, I can't tell you what to do, but I strongly suggest you get in the office as much as you can and interact with people and
Right.
make it normal hours. And that was a fantastic start.
Treat it like a business.
Treat like a business.
Versus a hobby. Now, if you knew what you know now and you could go backwards, would you do anything different?
Oh yeah, I'm sure I'd do a lot of things different. You know, it took me almost 3 years to start realizing that, you know, new construction was an option for a lot of my clients because, you know, when you're new, you're somebody says, I want a house between 300 and 400,000. You look in MLS, you see what's in MLS.
Right.
A lot of the new construction homes are not in MLS.
Right.
So it took me a couple years to realize, okay, these are the options I can also offer my clients that aren't just showing up on a standard search like most realtors are doing. So, you know, that opened up a whole lot of new business in year 3 and going forward that I didn't know about really as much in years 1 and 2. So.
Right. What about your marketing and your approach to the market? Would you do anything different there that you've learned that is now working?
Yeah, I mean, almost every training I went to early on, I mean, they always hammer into, you know, video. Nobody wants to read anything anymore. So I've gotten very active on Facebook, on YouTube. I have a YouTube channel that I'm very active with. I think it's just, you know, the trend on marketing, why people like Instagram and TikTok and everything else more than reading a newspaper anymore. So your marketing has to go with what people are looking at.
Yeah, for sure. Now, it hasn't always been easy.
No.
But you've really built a strong, sustainable business. So you're consistently now in the top 5 of your office. But that wasn't always the case.
Oh, no. I almost went back to the corporate world. And in the second year, you know, I really struggled because I still was not earning anywhere close to what I was when I was in the corporate world. And it wasn't fair to my kids, you know, and I was wondering how long am I going to keep, you know, beating my head against the wall. And luckily in year 3, it took off.
Yeah, because you were persistent.
Yeah.
Now, speaking of kids, and we could go to a personal thing, you recently at our national convention, Guy was awarded the Star Awards for JPAR Cares, which is recognizing those agents in our community who give back. And one of our values is giving back to the community, and you do that through a charity that you support. You want to tell us a little bit about that story?
Yeah, sure. I'm very involved with an organization called the Journey of Hope Grief Support Organization. They're here supporting the Dallas-Fort Worth area. I got connected to them in 2014. Unfortunately, my wife passed away then, and you know, there's no manual on how to proceed when you lose a loved one. You know, not only I was dealing with my own grief situation, but I had 2 10-year-old boys at the time that, you know, I needed to give the right guidance to. I didn't know how to lead us through that journey, and I'm glad we were connected with the Journey of Hope, because they have, every other week they have a meeting where you have a dinner with other people going through loss, and then you break into small groups, and the kids go with kids and the adults go with the adults, and you know they have the right way to talk you through some of the process, and just to realize you're not alone. Just, you know, my kids realized there was other kids going through, you know, grief and loss, whether it be a brother, sister, grandparent, whatever, and it was a safe place for the adults to talk to. That, I mean, I could say things in that room that I wouldn't necessarily say to close friends who knew my wife and I, you know. So yeah, tremendous organization. I'm very grateful to them, and so now every real estate transaction I do, I try to set aside some money from that and donate to their fundraisers. Like I said, they have a meal for about 60 people every other week, so I try to sponsor 1 or 2 of those meals a year. In April, I'm a whole sponsor for the golf tournament. That's a fundraiser. So just we all have organizations and charities we connect with. This one connects very strongly with me to support.
Yeah, to support you. You know, I can't imagine all of a sudden being a single dad, right?
Yeah,
you're thrust into being where you had a partner to do that with. So resilience and persistency is nothing new to you. Reaching out for help typically is not what men do, right? Is the women do that? That
was a very strange situation for me, because number one, I'm an only child, so probably gives me a little more independence than some others. And you know, my dad raised me to be a man. You know, we just push through things. But when you have a loss of a loved one like that, and it's sudden, and you've got, you know, other people depending on you, you need to reach out for help. It was probably one of the first times in my life I can ever ask, you know, reach out to people to help, that I need help to get the kids ready for school in the morning. You know, for a while they had a meal train set up for us. I mean, the community really rallied around us. I'm so grateful to the McKinney community for the way they rallied around my family back then. Yeah.
You know, one thing I keep telling our associates, we sell homes, but it's not who we are, right? It's not who we are, and you exemplify that. So congratulations on.
Thank you. That meant a lot to me. That award meant a lot. That you know, I may never have the sales numbers that some of the people had there, but it was nice to know that giving back to my community is appreciated.
Yeah, it really is. And have you learned some things through that experience that you've applied to your business?
Boy.
I mean, just being in touch with you know small groups and needing help and reaching out to others, has that been part of your business too?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, when I was attending Journey of Hope meetings frequently, you know, you were in very small groups of 4, 5, 6 people. You know, you and I have talked, and there's a lot of stats that, you know, realtors are more productive when they're in a small group. So I'm very fortunate. I have a group of 3 other realtors that we get together every couple weeks and brainstorm and talk about relevant topics. And I think that helps me as a professional to bounce ideas off others that are successful.
Yeah. Now, you're also investing in a professional coach in addition to your small group. What drove you to make that investment? Was it accountability?
A lot of it's accountability. A lot of it is I paid attention to some of the high producing agents with JPAR that were in coaching and you know, realizing that, you know, if they're doing it and that's what's made them successful, maybe I should take notice of that. You know, that I know, hey, you want to be a better golfer, you get a golf coach. You want to be a better, you know, singer, there's people who have singing coaches or whatever. You want to be a better realtor, there's no shame in getting a coach that's going to guide you on that path. And a lot of people talk about the expense of it, and yeah, I mean, I'll be transparent, it's $500 a month for me right now, but if that gets me one more transaction a year, it double paid for itself already. So it's a small price to pay for that accountability. That when my coach and I talked yesterday, and I have some tasks that I committed to doing 2 weeks from now when we talk again next, when I know I'm paying him money, I'm darn well going to make sure I'm doing the things I said I would do.
Yeah, it sounds counterintuitive, but it really works. And if you go to jpar.com/blog and type in the search bar, agent behaviors, I wrote a blog on the agent behaviors that make a financial difference. And coaching is one of them. Coaching, we did a survey that showed it's about 50% more gross commission income in coaching. Small groups was almost just as much. Using a CRM, having client events, you'll see there's various activities that make a difference. A client events is one that you excel in.
Yeah, I actually have one coming up this Saturday. I'm doing a breakfast taco truck for my clients and a few little prize drawings, but it's just a chance to get in front of my clients again, let them know how much I appreciate them, spend a little time with them, because you're so focused on the transaction when you're buying and selling with them that it's nice to get a little more casual time to spend with people and their families too.
Yeah, you get that personal connection, and then I'm assuming you track and record each of these events you do, generate referrals, or hey, you need to talk to Mary because she's getting ready to move, or those kind of things.
Yeah, that's always a very good side effect of the client events. You have some good discussions, and lately some of the people that I put in homes 3-4 years ago, we can really talk about how much equity they've gained. They may want to move up or use some of that equity for an investment property. So it's a chance to touch base with my past clients and talk about referrals to other people that I could help.
Yeah. Well, Guy, I'm so proud of you because you have really stepped out with video. And a lot of agents are afraid of video. They avoid video. You told me once, hey, I don't know about this video thing. But you've created a YouTube channel. You're consistently posting videos about the market conditions. Was that easy for you, or did you have to really keep pushing yourself to get that launched?
It wasn't easy to get started because, everybody always jokes, I don't like the way I look, I don't like the way I sound, but at some point you realize this is the way I look and this is the way I sound.
Right.
And everybody that knows me knows that.
Right.
But like I said, I went to so many classes where they just hammer into you video. This is going to be the marketing tool going forward. And I was a little more mature than a lot of agents when I got into this, almost 50 years old when I got into real estate. So I said, I don't have 10, 12 years to build a base. I need to do something that's going to, accelerate the marketing quickly. And, it made sense to me. I mean, we all like watching video more than reading text. So that's the method I'm more comfortable with now.
Yeah. Well, so if you're looking in McKinney, Texas, or anywhere in Collin-Denton County, just Google Guy Arnold and look at his YouTube channel. I know you would take referrals from anybody, right?
Absolutely. I love to help anybody I can.
Tell them a little bit about McKinney. What makes McKinney special?
McKinney's fantastic. It's we're right next to the big towns of Frisco and Plano and not far from Dallas, but it still has kind of a smaller town feel, especially if you get down to the historic downtown area. I mean, it really, most of those buildings are 100 years old or so. I mean, it has a really old town feel to it, but people are really friendly here. The school systems are great. McKinney's a little confusing because you can live in McKinney and be in 4 different school districts. It depends what school district you go to. I live in McKinney. My kids go to the Frisco school district, but people have been friendly. I mean, it's amazing me how much has grown in the 9 years I've lived here now. Yeah. But yeah, I love the area.
Well, really, all of the Texas towns are growing, and I think you just posted a walking tour of the best restaurants.
Yes, I just posted that this morning down the historic downtown. I visited 5 of the restaurants and showed some of the square.
So if you're looking for a walking tour of the best restaurants in McKinney, check out Guy's Facebook post on the walking tour. Well, we have folks watching from all over the world, all over Texas, all over the U.S., agents, real estate agents, mortgage professionals, finance professionals. What advice would you give independent contractors who are out there, trying to make a living every day? If you had 1 or 2 things to share, what would it be?
Keep doing the work. This is for realtors. I know this is a frustrating year right now. There's just not enough inventory, but you got to keep doing the work. You got to, wake up. This is not a business where you can wake up and watch ESPN for a couple of hours or my kids play video games or anything. I mean, you need to be focused when you wake up. Be checking what homes have popped up on the MLS. Check your emails. Sometimes we had emails from builders that maybe an inventory home came back to the market for some reason, and you got clients that's right for, and just stay motivated. I know this business gets frustrated at times, but stay motivated. And if this is what you want to do, keep pushing through.
How do you deal with that? Because I know you've shared with me from time to time frustrations and disappointments. And how do you stay on task, on motivated. I'm sure there's day that you just want to like throw in the towel, but you don't. How do you do that?
Well, my boys have gotten used to having food on the table and a roof over our heads, so I know I got to produce one way or another.
Got it.
But you know, I know if I have enough conversations, if I reach out to enough people, if I send handwritten note cards, I mean, I will get conversations that will lead to sales. It may not be as easy as it was 2-3 years ago when we had much more inventory.
It's harder. It's harder, isn't it?
It's harder right now, it is. But it will happen, and that's the business I'm in. I got to make it happen.
Yeah. And you've really done a great job of working and developing relationships with all the local medium to smaller home builders that are just popping up all over. So you've really created quite a niche in that area, yeah?
Yeah. I mean, I really try to stay on top of like the entry level price range homes, because for so long that was the majority, 99% of my business was the first time buyers, you know, and so I really try to keep a pulse on where the lower price bracket homes are when people reach out to me. And that's a good thing about my small group that I'm in, because we all kind of talk about, okay, I saw one's popping up over in this town or over in this city, and we all make each other aware of it.
Yeah, that's amazing. Well, there we have it, a conversation with Guy on real estate and success, persistence, and giving back to the community. Guy, any last words of wisdom?
No, it's a great business we're in. We get to help a lot of people. We get to make new friends every week. So take time to enjoy what you're doing.
There we go. That's the quote of the day. Take time to enjoy what you're doing, and back to the fundamentals. Well, that's our episode of Success Superstars. Until we see you again, may your choices reflect your hopes and not your fears.